Okay, I'm going to invite Johnson up to speak now. I led a team out to Kenya not so long ago, and we were looking at projects and initiatives that were going on, and we, through one of our other partners based out in Czechoslovakia, we hooked up with Johnson, and really interesting guy. It's early stages of our relationship with him, although he's with us for quite a few days to map out a business plan and scale plan. So we're going to be interested in communicating to you around the opportunities here. Without further ado, I'm going to invite Johnson to speak. He's flown all the way from Kenya, and welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is a great opportunity for me to start before you this afternoon. I want to first and foremost salute TBN for giving me this opportunity to come all the way from Kenya and share with you briefly what we are doing in the Kibera slums in Nairobi to impact the community. I was here in 2006 at Oxford Brookes University doing my further studies. Went back to Kenya and got so many opportunities for employment. I remember one managing director of Cooperative Bank of Kenya calling me for a talk in his office, and so many of us. And somehow, after working with a company called DTDOBI in Kenya, which is actually the Daimler Chrysler franchise holder in Kenya, Mercedes and Nissan, for 9 years, I was ready to move to the next level and do another job. But somehow I felt like my systems were rocked. I tried to like a job, and I just felt I don't want to be employed. I did not know why. I stayed for a whole year just thinking and dropping my family to work and to school. And one day I was driving on a street in Nairobi called Lenana Road, and I felt like a stone dropped into my heart, a very strong conviction that I've never experienced in my life. This conviction, it was not an audible voice, but it was a conviction telling me, work with the poor community. That was after 1 year of just hanging around and wondering what is the next move after working with the DTDOBI and leaving Oxford Brookes University. And then that is what came into my heart. And I registered an organization called Transform a Person Africa, in short, TAPA. We are 7 directors, different professionals. We have a lawyer. We have a lady working with the United Nations in Nairobi. We have counselors. We have quite a number of professionals. I am a business administration person. And we said, let's start a project in the Kibera slums, where I kind of live in the slum, 10-minute walk to the slum. So if you remember the post-election violence of 2008, I was just receiving all that from my house, and it was hard. But so that means I know very well about the slum and what goes around there. Let me jump. I don't want to talk so much about the Kibera slums because our brother Andrew took a lot of time to tell us how the slums are, the sewage system, and the conditions in the slum. Please, because of time, let me not get so much into the details. But basically, I would talk about Kibera is a division in Nairobi in Kenya. It's actually, I think right now it's the largest slum in Africa with a population of about 800,000 to 1 million people, area 2.5 square kilometer, and the population density of around 2,000 people per hectare. So you can imagine it's a highly populated slum. That slum, as our brother Andrew said, people live in abject poverty with no access to basic facilities, and evidenced by poor health, HIV and AIDS, so many things. What happens in short is that the children whom we are trying to help, when they are not able to go to school because the parents cannot afford the education. Somebody talked about, I think it's Andrew who talked about free primary education is in Kenya. That's what we call it, but that is in quotes, because the government only pays the teachers and provide the facility, but school uniform and food and books and stationaries and extracurricular activities, all that, nobody funds it. And therefore, the poor parents have either to go into their pocket or just leave their children to loiter around in the slums. So what happens is that these young children who needs to be arrested early at the age of 2.5 when they can walk around and play around, they are just left unattended in the slums because their parents have to walk long distances looking for casual labor. So these children are left unattended. And as the girls, especially who are very vulnerable, grow up, the big boys and men, unfortunately, take advantage of them and they get into early sex, and then we have a 12-year-old girl becoming pregnant. We have HIV and AIDS to small children, and it becomes so bad. And that is why we felt a burden to establish a center in the slum, and that is actually where we are. It's called TAPA Educational Center. We say our motto is linking children to their potentials, because children have potential. There is no child who was born condemned or poor. All of them can become the Obamas and they can become the presidents and doctors of this world. Obama, by the way, if you do not know, comes from around Kibera slums. That was born. So I'm not doing very bad by talking about Obama. Yeah, so TAPA is actually a charitable organization, a non-profit making charitable organization. And our main objective is actually to put these children together, give them education, which is critical. We all know that an educated child or person is unemployable in the world today. We are talking about ICT and all that. So we want to give them education, and therefore they come to our center every morning. We give them education. We have teachers who teach them, and we also have a feeding program, and we also do some kind of Medicare. Not so much into details. We take the children into the nearby clinics and pay a few shillings if it's a cold, and then where we cannot handle, we tell the parents and the guardians, please either take them to government hospitals or wherever you are able to take them. Our vision is transformed people that are able to meet their own needs and have the dignity of life. One of these days, if God gives me some more years to live, I would want to attend a wedding of these children and attend their graduation and, visit them in their offices. That's my vision. It's transform people that are able to meet their own needs. And then, of course, our mission is to help the less fortunate to progressively become responsible citizens that live in harmony with themselves, community, and with God. What we realized, and when this vision came, I realized that besides me as Johnson thinking about the poor people, I got into some scriptures in the Bible, and I realized that God loves poor people so much. I don't know why Jesus said that the poor people will always be with you. And I went to James 1:27, which says that the best and pure religion before God is helping orphans and widows out of their distress. Then I went to Proverbs 19 and verse 17, and that touched me, which says that whoever gives to the poor leads to God, and God will pay him back whatever he has given. And somebody yesterday night was reminding me of Matthew 25, which says that when we get into, is it David's coffin? Is it David who talked about those funny boxes where all of us have to one day get into? And when we get into those boxes and we are transported, carried and forwarded to the other side of the world, God will ask us, I was hungry and you fed me. I was naked and you clothed me. And you will ask him, God, did I ever see you in Kibera slums naked and clothed you and hungry and fed you? And God, you remind us, you know what? Those children that you fed, those children that you gave education, those women that you created opportunity for them to get an employment and to get skills, it is actually me who was benefiting from that. So if you want to really be happy after the coffin is whatever, please remember that we need God to say, welcome to my kingdom, and be happy. I believe I'm talking to so many Christians here. That is why I'm talking authentically. So the next one is, what is our strategy and techniques? Local and international fundraising. Currently, we don't have any donor as per se. We have people who give us one-time gifts. We have a few teachers and clerks and bank cashiers from Slovakia who contribute 16 euros per month, and they wire that money to Kenya. So about 40 children, I would say, they are fully sponsored. We have about 250 in total. So we do local and international fundraising. We had a fundraising 2 years ago where we called Kenyans friends. We had a dinner and they contributed the money and we were able to take our children to the next level. Then we also talk of a child sponsorship where US dollars 40 to 30 pounds is enough to feed a child and to educate a child in Kibera slums for the whole month, from 1st to 31st of the month. Then we also have the youth empowerment programs. This is where we have income-generating activities. When we started this project, even after knowing that there are donors who can come our way, we said, why can't we bring people together from the slums, like we have seen some slides from other people here, and start income-generating activities that can actually generate revenues. You know, somebody said, instead of giving them fish, teach them how to fish. And I'm telling you, we started making cards. There is a table behind there with quite a number of handmade cards with different African designs. You can help yourself with some, buying some. And we also make some uniforms. We make sweaters like the one I'm putting on. Okay, this is not from TAPA. Ours kind of one color, but they're very high quality sweaters. So we go to schools and we talk to principals of schools and say, you know what, you need uniform for your student. If you buy them from TAPA, you'll actually be indirectly supporting a needy child. And some of them in their tendering committees, they sit and they say, oh, wow, these guys are helping children. Why not buy from them? So long as they will not, what word do I use? They don't compromise on quality. The price is competitive. The delivery dates are kept. We are told you can have the order. So we have about 6 schools in central Kenya that we supply uniform to. And then, of course, we have the educational center. I talked about it, where the children come every day. It's a very clean environment. Some of the TBN, as our brother Stuart said, have been there. We did not want the children to be in the dirty place in the slum. We said, let's have the center slightly outside the slum where the children can walk in the morning and walk back in the evening. And what happens is that the center is so clean and hygiene is high level, so that child comes to our center during the day, and in the evening they go back to that dirty place. So that child grows knowing that there is a better life somewhere, and therefore they work so hard so that they are not left behind by the others. And of course, I've talked about the uniform, and et cetera, et cetera. The impact is that more than 250 children have been given an opportunity. So we have 250 orphaned and vulnerable children. We are giving them education. They have secure learning environment. We are giving them a balanced diet. Every day at 10 o'clock, we give them porridge. And during lunchtime, we give them food. We give them a lot of food so that they are full, because the majority of them don't have dinner in their houses. They come in the morning and they tell us, we did not eat anything yesterday night. That is a child speaking. And what does it mean? He or she is speaking the truth. Because if you know, children don't tell lies. Parents can come and say, we did not have dinner when they had eaten a lot of food. So when you hear a child saying we do not eat, it means exactly that. So we give them a lot of lunch so that as they go home in the evening, in case there is nothing for them to eat, then it can take them to the next day. Of course, now we have increased incomes and improved livelihood for participating households. We have employed women. If I go to the business, let me jump to those are children playing in the center. Those are the cards. I just wanted you to see. The women. Those are women making sweaters. So we have employed about 15 of them. 15 of them are permanent employees, and others are kind of freelance. So we call them when we have orders. Because again, you don't want to keep employees in the office, and you don't have enough work for them. So it is really helping us so much to help the children, to help the poor women from the slums. Some of them are actually living with HIV and AIDS, and it is something that they really admire, to come to the center and have food and and be able to support their families. I wanted to mention as I finish that I have been tempted. We are human beings. I've been tempted with the 2 jobs. In the course of even last year, but one, somebody came, another multinational corporation offered me a very good job, and they said, you want somebody of your age, somebody with a family, somebody who can mentor young people. And I looked at the salary and the benefits, and I was almost moving. And my wife told me, Johnson. if you took this job, what will happen to these 250 children? She actually called me, she summoned me in her office, my wife, after paying all that dowry, and warned me. And I tell you, she spoke to me, and I said, I will never be tempted again. It was a very big temptation. And so what makes me happy at the end of the month, when we are paying our staff from Kibera slums and they are walking home, sometimes I walk out the door and I look at them and I see them walking home and I say, God, thank you that these people can have a salary. When I look at those children, since 2008, when we started, up to today, they have gone to each and every class. They are moving on and they are moving on. And we are trusting that we'll be able to take them to the next level. So we have one of the things we would want to do is to, let me leave that. Let me go to ICT because quite a number of people talked about it. We'd want to start an ICT facility, and then maybe I need to invite my brother Luvuyo from South Africa to just come and start it immediately and go back to South Africa. He's an expert. There'll be lots of benefits in the slum because untrained people actually will not be able to get jobs, and because of technology, a lack of technology limits a job prospect. And then ICT education facility provides additional income generating avenue. We will be able to charge like internet, for those who will be able to pay something. And then also internet connection provides opportunity for the expansion of small business and for the generation of income. Then I wanted to talk about this. This one is good. We want to purchase a school van because Kibera slum is like 5 kilometers. So you can imagine children walking all the way, and they are 2.5 years, 3 years, and they come to school when they are tired, they are crying, they want to go back with their mummies to the house. So we have a school van. It will help us cater for the transport. The children will be able to come to school without having to struggle a lot. Now, we did a fundraising 3 years ago. This is my last one. We did a fundraising 3 years ago, and in the outskirts of the city of Nairobi, we managed to buy a piece of land, 8 acres of land. I mean, that is a big land, and we envision, one, to drill a borehole in that land because the government water supply has not reached there. We want to drill a borehole there, which will cost about 2.5 million shillings. Sorry, I'm not able to convert that into pounds very fast. Forgive me for that. And then we also want to do greenhouse farming, which will be able to supplement the feeding program in the current educational center. You can imagine feeding 250 children every day and feeding them well and giving them a balanced diet. Then, of course, we want to fence the land. Those people who know Maasais are nomads, and they walk with thousands of cattle. And if they find your farm, the greenhouse, they will just allow the cattle to go and eat everything. They believe everything green belongs to them. So you have to fence, and fence well, so that you don't get into problems with Maasais. Then, of course, we want to plant trees because of the environment. We are talking about environment. And also, the key thing we want to do in that land is to establish a boarding school where we will have these children go to high school or upper primary and high school so that they leave the slum. The whole semester they are in the boarding school, and then during the holiday, they can come back to the slum and be with their parents and their guardians. And of course, we want to establish a vocational training center because not everyone can become a graduate. Not everyone can go to high school. Do we condemn those ones who go up to primary level? No. We get them, they have potential, put them in a vocational training center, give them the skills of carpentry, machinery, electricals, and everything that they can do so that we are able to move on and bless this community. I want to thank you very much. And any donation towards the needs of the mentioned above will be highly appreciated. May God bless you listening to me. I salute you. God bless you. Thank you.